Ladies and gentlemen, for the ones in attendance and the millions watching around the world, the Big Bag Network presents the High Flying Podcast.
Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the High Flying Podcast where we be drop kicking it with the boys. So make sure to body slam that like, share, and subscribe button. I am your host, Biggie Bag Johnny, back with another video. And today we are doing, you know it, everybody that watches this channel knows it. This is my favorite segment of them all of our live reviews, all the wrestling we talk. This is one of my favorite segments of the channel. You guys love it. You guys have showed me so much love with this, man. And it's just right now, the first episode, you seen it, Dark Side of the Ring Season 5, with the first episode of Earthquake John Tenta. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't even trying to do too much talking because we've been waiting so long for this right here, guys. So let's get it popping, man. Let's watch this beautiful story that's about to happen. I was listening to it earlier about Earthquake, man. If you don't remember Earthquake, he was the shocker dude. He was Avalanche in WCW. He was a tag team with Tyhoon, and dude is a legend. All right, dude is a legend. We're gonna check out some things right now, what's going on, and we're gonna just go with this right now, man. So Dark Side of the Ring Season 5, let's go. Shouts out Vice, man, giving us this content.
Damn straight I'm seeing dollar signs of somebody like John Tenta walking through the door. Who's the biggest, baddest son of a bitch on the planet? I'd have to squash all those old bastards.
With a superhero, you need a villain that's just as powerful to counter. You needed somebody like my dad.
You, I gotta fail! The earthquake!
You know it was over because he'd go like this across his throat, jump a couple times around your head,
The trailers are beginning!
run to a set of ropes, and then just jump on your chest. Earthquake splash, man.
Larger-than-life John Tenta had a meteoric rise in the WWF's Earthquake before being paired with another big man, Typhoon, in the iconic tag team, The Natural Disasters.
Now, before we go on, man, I do want to let you guys know I do appreciate you guys for coming in. And yes, there is a little lag to this. There's nothing we can do about that. But we're just pretty much bringing audio with a little bit of commentary on the side. So here we go.
Bad weather for everybody in the WWF.
Natural disasters, earthquake and typhoon. 1,000 pounds of fun. There was no picking them guys up, put it that way. You go to lift them and, blow your back out type situations.
Intimidating in the ring, behind the scenes, John Tenta was a very different man.
They were gentlemen, respected by everybody. Everybody could count on John Tenta to do the job and do it right. No doubt about that.
My dad was a good guy, regardless if he was a heel or not.
He cared deeply about his family, and he also cared a lot about other people.
It's not very dark side of the wrestling, huh?
But a change in fortune for both men turned these once respected superstars into parodies of themselves.
He was so many gimmicks. It was probably hard from the tape.
I felt like that was the low of the low for him.
Wrestling man can put you on the stars or he can put you in hell. Just that simple.
You don't walk out on Vince McMahon. If you do, you're going to pay for it.
I don't think John gave a damn. The main important thing to make the money and take care of his family.
And for John Tenta and his family, a cruel ending that no one saw coming.
John doesn't want to go to the doctor. He waited too long.
My dad's a fighter. He's going to fight through this. There's no way this will take him down.
I just prayed, God, please heal him. Please let us have more time with our dad.
I'm not gonna lie, man. These Dark Side of the Rings make me a little emotional, man. And I forgot which one it was. I don't know if it was the Van art on Eric's or what, but they definitely make me emotional. So I hope this one is not gonna do it, man.
Dino Bravo just told me that I could pick the
Bravo and the Ultimate Warrior were having push-up contests in the middle of the ring, and the gimmick was to find the biggest guy in the stands and calm him down.
The whole audience already realized there was this giant man in the audience that would be perfect to be in this competition.
Wow, oh my goodness.
When my dad made his debut in the WWE, he was planted in the audience.
Take a look at the size of this man.
Jimmy Hart called him down. John from West Virginia.
And he's wearing this bright blue shirt, jeans, and white.
And he just smashes him.
Wait a minute! Whoa! Bravo!
The first iteration of the Earthquake Splash, and establishing himself as a pretty major heel.
Boom to the man down across the chest! Hey, this guy learned how to wrestle pretty quick! Yeah, no kidding! I smell a rat!
That's how he's introduced into the wrestling world. My name's Jeff Tenta, and Earthquake's my father. Everybody knew me as Lil Quake, everybody knew my dad. I was just in the backstage.
That baby looks Samoan, bruh. What the mama look like? Because I didn't think it was gonna be Earthquake's kid, bro.
A lot of times when he was wrestling, I can honestly say that he was definitely respected. My dad told you to keep an eye on my kid. They were gonna do it.
It was kind of surreal being backstage. I've watched these wrestlers and their own personas and their gimmicks just kind of doing their thing, just talking to each other. I'm Joanna, and I'm the daughter of Earthquake John Tenta.
I didn't want to be
Earthquake like it. He was like in the. I don't think Earthquake like white pussy, man.
a wrestler. I still love wrestling today, and growing up, I thought there was nobody cooler than my dad. My name is John Tenta, the youngest child of John, Earthquake, and Josephine Tenta. My dad was good at making the audience buy into this villain. I think he was incredible in the ring.
When John Tenta debuts in WWF in 1989, he's already had a storied career that has taken him halfway around the world from his hometown of Surrey, British Columbia.
My dad knew that he wanted to become a wrestler from a very young age. My grandfather was also a huge wrestling fan, and so they only got a few channels, but they would always tune in to watch wrestling.
From that on, he was hooked. He knew that that was what he wanted to do.
My grandmother and grandfather were not wealthy people. They couldn't afford to buy him a weight set or get him into extracurricular sports and things like that, so he found other ways to exercise. Going to the parks, lifting park benches, or doing whatever he could to just get stronger.
Oh, he was that weird kid that we all know that be in the park benches, like doing karate and fucking acting weird and shit like that. He just over there weightlifting fucking park benches.
They believed in him from the beginning. He was a Canadian world champion in wrestling, and he was being prospected by 12 major universities in the U.S. And we know that he ended up going to LSU and wrestling there. But when he dropped the wrestling program, he found wrestling in other ways.
The oldest Japanese sport is sumo, a form of wrestling which dates back to hand-to-hand combat techniques of nearly 20 centuries ago.
John Tenta was 22 years old. One of the sumo wrestling stable came to college wrestling meet and recruited him when he was in Louisiana State University. He quit college and came to Japan to live and start as a sumo wrestler. Hello, my name is Fumi Saito. I'm a journalist, I'm an author, I'm a wrestling historian. Sumo is Japanese national sport. They still wear kimonos, they have samurai hairdos, and sumo wrestler is like more like a sumo society.
Sumo is different. The way they train, the discipline, you have to fight for it. For wrestling, you climb over the top rope and jump. Sumo is more on the ground and more physical. John was the tallest one of that time, and he was big too. I believe they were looking at him to be a grand champion.
He went into 3 consecutive tournaments and won all 3 tournaments. He was basically undefeated for 8 months period until he decided to walk out.
I like sumo, I like the sport, but I just can't live the lifestyle. There's a lot of demands and a lot of pressure put on you. I had to do anything that my senior wrestlers asked me.
And when I interviewed him the following year, he felt that he always wanted to be a professional wrestler. That was his goal. He was signed with All Japan Pro Wrestling in July of 1986. He basically learned from Japanese side and American side together. He enjoyed professional wrestling a lot more than he enjoyed sumo wrestling, that's for sure. He learned the customs, he spoke Japanese too. He was treated more like a local now.
My love, there's only John in my life. It's only John forever. My name is Josephine, and I'm married with John Earthquake Tenta. I'm from the Philippines.
I knew it!
Luckily, I got my visa and good man for singing, entertainer. He went into the place that I was working, and my mama.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, and we don't want to seem racist here at the High Flying Podcast or nothing like that on this channel, but what are the odds that you go to the Philippines and go bag your wife at the karaoke bar? Wow!
My son introduced him to me. It's love at first sight for him and for me. My mama son told me he's a wrestler, but I don't know nothing about wrestling. So, to me, so what? He's really famous. John was 6'7".
How tall are you?
4'11". It didn't bother me at all.
Don't get it twisted, man. My mom may be barely 5 foot, but she's the alpha in the house. I promise you that.
They really are a love story for the ages. Everything had to be in the right place and set in motion at the right time for them to even find each other in such a big world.
I know right away that he's a good man and a big heart.
The following year, WWF at the time was already interested in John Tenta as Hulk Hogan's opponent. And John Tenta asked the company, would it be okay to leave and join WWE? The Great Kabuki, I believe, was the one who told him, go ahead and do it. That's your chance.
Before accepting the offer from the WWF, John Tenta makes...
So he left from where he was at doing his thing with his family to go join WWF. We know the story, but let's hear it out real quick.
The commitment, not just to Josephine, but to her son Jeff as well.
We were a package deal, me and mom's whole body. We just covered that whole window. That's the lasting image I have the first time I meet my father. Only father I know, so he is my dad. When they got married shortly after, we both flew from Philippines to Canada. Obviously, I was a little nervous, a little scared. Different country, a whole new world.
As John and his family settle in British Columbia, his WWF career ignites with an in-ring feud against the world champion, Hulk Hogan.
There's nothing going on in the wrestling business. Could he be any bigger than the Hulkamania? When you come in there and you're working right off on top, that means you're somebody and you're good. Hey, this is Hebner, and I've been a referee for over 40 years.
Man, I swear to God, ladies and gentlemen, I thought that was Bob the fuck Orton. I thought that was Bob Orton. That's fucking Earl Hebner, the fucking referee. Jeez.
John was a special friend of mine, always. We were all a team. John knew how to handle the matches. He knew how to make them exciting.
He may have been a rookie, but he had credentials. He earned it. Hi, I'm Jake the Snake Roberts, WWE superstar and master of the DDT. John took it like he'd been doing it for years. I couldn't believe when I found out how long he'd been wrestling. I was amazed. It's a spot that everybody wants. You're wrestling.
I am mind blown right now of everything that this man has done. And it's just like, we're 10 minutes in. There's no real dark side yet, ladies and gentlemen. So where we going with this?
Champ, you're gonna be paid like a champ.
I think my dad was a great foe for Hulk Hogan because he was one of the only guys that was actually bigger than him. He was really great at generating heat. So you needed somebody that you could really hate.
The last time I came face to face with Hulk Hogan, they carried him out on a stretcher, and all the little Hulkamaniacs cried their little eyes out because they knew Hulkamania was dead. Forget about it.
You wrestle Hogan, you made it. You're that guy. You're it. His career was gonna just take off and keep taking off, and it was exciting.
The most important match for John Tenta as a professional wrestler happened back in Japan, 1991. The Tokyo Dome event was Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Bret Hart, all these superstars. But it was another attraction, former sumo wrestler John Tenta against former grand champion of sumo wrestling, Koji Kitao, rookie professional wrestler. Kitao was not a popular professional wrestler. He thought he was going to be just as big a star. He wasn't. For Kitao, John Tenta was somebody who tried sumo wrestling for 1 year and didn't even make it. And this time, actually, John Tenta was bigger and better than Kitao.
Kitao think that, he...
Listen, the best feeling is when the grasshopper out fucking masters the master. All right? So for the fact that dude went to another guy's country, where this dude is the Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James at his spot, and I tried your shit, and in the first year I wasn't nobody, but I became somebody in your spot. I came back to my own country and blew the fuck up. Now you think, because you've been the big shit since day one, you think you gonna be the shit over here, and nah, it don't work that way. When I say the full circle shit, it happens in the industry. This is it right here, ladies and gentlemen.
It was Bruce Lee or something. He didn't care about the rules, the respect and everything.
John Tenta pinned Koji Kitao, former Yokozuna Grand Champion sumo wrestler. Oh, Kitao wasn't happy. I believe second night at Kobe, John was gonna go over too, again. That night, Kitao worked against the booking plan.
We were standing there because we knew already that he was, he might pull something, and he did.
Kitao went like this, he was gonna poke his eye. Come on, you gotta have fight, you gotta fight.
Then I know when he went for that eye poke, my dad delivered a real kick. Like an MMA match. After Kitao disqualified himself from the match to end it, saw it wasn't going anywhere, grabbed a mic, told everyone that wrestling was fake, that it was all a lie, it was all a scam.
John Tenta, you are fake, and this is the whole thing is fake, and he walked out of the match.
Are you fucking kidding me, bro? So you're telling me you, this fucking dude in Japan or wherever the fuck you, then you get into a feud with my mans, you get into it with Quake, and Quake is that dude over here in America, and you can't take that, so you have a 2-day feud with this motherfucker, and on the second night, he's beating your ass so bad, and you know you can't beat this nigga, so you go and try to expose the business, you fucking bitch-ass nigga? You a fuck boy. Whatever the fuck, however you say your name, fuck you.
We were all there in the dressing room, and John buzzed in there and said, "Where's that son of a bitch? I'm gonna kick his ass."
It was Kitao who got booed out of the building. That was the last time Kitao worked for SWS company. He was fired the next day.
John is very kind. John is very quiet. Those are the guys that you have to watch out for.
After former sumo grand champion turned wrestler Koji Kitao goes rogue during a match in Japan, he's fired for his actions. But for John Tenta, the incident cements his reputation as a true professional.
When John Tenta went back to the States, and the backstage of WWF asked him, "I heard you had shoot match in Japan, and you took care of yourself. Great." Everybody had so much respect for John Tenta and Earthquake from that day forward.
Oh, look at this! Earthquake doing his thing!
He loved that gimmick. It made him feel big. It made him feel like he was a force to be reckoned with. My dad would always brag about, look, I'm the most hated bad guy. Because he knew he did his job.
Roberts, last week you thought you were real smart trying to put that snake on me. I'm telling you here and now, keep Damien away from me. I can't stand snakes, but most of all, I can't stand you. I hate your guts.
Damien was my pet snake that I loved and trusted. And
oh God, geez, these fucking old school promo segments were so cringing, bro. Why was he jumping like that?
And I always had the snake with me, and then at the end of the match, I'd get the snake out and drape it across the fallen opponents. It was my gimmick.
Jake the Snake Roberts with Damien in the bag.
The idea was for him to kill it. They wanted me to get knocked out of the ring and then Tenta do the damage to the snake where he jumps on the snake. The way to do that is to tie me in the ropes and make me watch it.
Jake always puts Damien underneath the ring, and at the time, there was another bag underneath the ring, so he grabbed the bag, put it on center of the ring.
He's got Damien in the ring, but from behind again.
Quick ran into the ropes and give him this big boom squash.
Watch this, folks. Please don't watch it. No, he's gonna go. Come on, he's gonna.
The amazing Oscar performance of Jake, crying and bawling his eyes out while he watched my dad sit on Damien.
The Big Bag Network presents the High Flying Podcast, where we dive off the top higher than RVD and Matt Riddle's love child, with your host Biggie Bag Johnny. Subscribe to the channel and stay up to date on all things wrestling related. So grab your belts and bongs, bad bitches with thongs, and watch whatever episode that you want to put on. It's the High Flying Podcast with Biggie Bag Johnny. Let's go.
This is the Deathmatch King, Matt Cardona. You're listening to the High Flying Podcast with Big Bad Johnny. They said they were going to pay me. Where's my fucking money?
What's up, guys? It's Brian Cage. At the High Flying Podcast with Big Bad Johnny. Apple of the Dawn. I got it right this time. So everybody who missed the first couple blocks, you didn't just did. All right, check it out. High Flying Podcast. Who better?
Thank you for all the doors that you opened up, so you got to bust through the window, and all the time. I appreciate it.
When in 2004, Eddie Guerrero came up to me and thanked me for opening up the door for the Hispanics in WWF.
Absolutely.
That meant a lot to me when he told me that.
Absolutely. I